if you'd like to change one thing real quick. If you'd like to sit on some blankets, something to boost yourself up. Okay. As always, you just want to make sure that your pelvis is neutral. You want to ensure that you're not slumped back like this, because then your spine can't be straight. So get something up underneath yourself if you need to. Super helpful. Just giving yourself some space. And then once you get settled, just close your eyes. Bring your palms face down on your legs. And narrow the spotlight of your awareness onto your breath. And it's helpful, get the visual of a body-shaped snow globe. And all the glitter snow inside just starting to settle. And just invite your whole self to this moment, to drop in, to know that anything that's happened so far today, even the last half an hour of our conversation, that's all done. And every single thing that you need from the past, whether it's the last half hour or the last 60 years, everything that you need from what's already happened is within you. So you don't have to try to hold on to it. It's already where you need it to be. And anything that is going to happen in the future, in the next couple of hours together, later tonight, this week, the next 20, 30, 40 years, will happen as it's meant to happen for you. And so there's no need to think about it, to try to be prepared for it in any way. Everything you need for everything that's going to happen in the future, you either already have or will have when you need it. And the way to be able to access those resources within you is to be here right now. Anything that takes you out of the present moment and the full awareness of the present moment is draining your resources unnecessarily. And just give yourself another 90 seconds to just be here. To practice being here. It doesn't mean that you won't feel your body. It doesn't mean that there won't be thoughts in your mind. It doesn't mean that there won't be sounds around you. It doesn't mean that you won't be distracted. But what it does mean is that you allow yourself to be present with all of it. To feel it, to see the thoughts, to recognize the distractions. And ultimately what we're talking about here is shifting to pure consciousness. Your ability to witness your life experience from the place within you that's always there, that's completely sustainable, it's not depleting, it doesn't require effort. That place within you that can observe without engaging, without judgment. If you think about the snow globe, it's the little plastic thing in the middle, whatever that might be. The little cottage or the park bench or the pyramids, if that's where you got your snow globe. Which is kind of funny, I'm not sure it snows in Egypt. Can you feel yourself as that thing in the middle of the environment and just watching the environment? That's the part, the essential part of who you are as a human being, that pure awareness, that consciousness that is unaffected by the environment. Challenge yourself to stay with, reconnect to, continue to come back to as many times as necessary with that witness consciousness for the duration of our time together. I'll remind you. For now, as you inhale, start to squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. And then as you exhale, release. And really exaggerate that inhale. Squeeze. Exhale, release. And you might be exaggerating the movement of the shoulders, but feel free to also exaggerate the breath. I'll show you. Inhale. And as you exhale. Free to move the head a little, and the shoulders can be more of a roll if that feels good. And feel free to let your arms come into it a bit. And then keep doing that as it feels good. consider closing your eyes and just really experiencing this and yourself from that pure consciousness. And then at some point, just bring your hands to your shoulders and really, your knees rather, and really let the palms of your hands and your knees fit together. I have one teacher that's like a ball in a mitt sort of thing. Let it really fit, and it really fits. And then you can keep shrugging and just start moving the spine back and forth. Or you can just start to move into a seated cat-cow. But just the way we were exaggerating the breath a moment ago, do that some more. Maybe blow your breath out. Just in some way, manipulate the breath just so that you're making it a little exaggerated. You don't have to overdo it. And if you're not already, make sure that you're really getting the pelvis into this. So rocking back and forth with the pelvis. And of course the whole spine will follow. And just let the speed be what you need it to be right now. And then just slowly start to come back to a neutral posture right in the middle somewhere. And then just start to move. Think of the pelvis, you've got the pubic bone, think of that as like 12 o'clock. And then the right sits bone, that's 3 o'clock. And the tailbone, that's 6 o'clock. And then the left sits bone, that's 9 o'clock. So that's your pelvis, and it's got those 4 points. Move it to 12 o'clock, and then to 3, and then to 6, and then to 9. So we're just going clockwise around, and really focus on those 4 points. And hold on to your knees. Make sure that the palms of the hands and the knees are fitting together in a nice way. That's an anchor. And actually, it's really good for the wrists and the elbows to have that anchor. Of course, the elbows can bend as you move around. The knees might pop up, although I tend to push the knees into the hands a bit to help anchor even more. Good. So the next time you come around to 12 o'clock, just let yourself come back to neutral. And then just walk your hands forward. I'm going to turn to this side here. Just walk your hands forward and just let yourself round, or just come forward in whatever way is doable for you. Don't worry too much about it. If you want to put your forearms down as a bit of a break, just make sure that you're, as a bit of like a support, just make sure that your hips aren't lifting up a whole lot. They might a little. And maybe you can walk your arms a little more forward. And take a couple of breaths here. Focus on breathing into the back and sides of your rib cage. And notice if you can let your head go a little more. Good. Take your time, walk your hands back up. And then switch the cross of your legs. So whichever one is in front, put that in the back. And bring your hands to your knees. Again, really get that good fit. And just start to go back and forth again. And with the leg switch, this might feel a little different. And when we were doing this before, I was encouraging you to exaggerate the breath a little, and I want to encourage you to exaggerate the breath a little again this time. And when we were doing this before, I also said, just let it be at the speed that you need it to be right now. This time, I want to encourage you to change the speed to something that is maybe less familiar, not your default. So if you're moving kind of fast, see if you can do it really slow. And just let your breath and your movement coordinate in some way. So if you're slowing way down, you're not going to only take an inhale or an exhale as you round and only take one inhale and exhale as you come forward. You might take 2 full rounds of breath or a round and a half. It doesn't matter. I just want you to feel like you're moving and breathing with some connection. Some sense of those two things are coordinated in some way. And so if you're a person who tends to just do this really slow, see if you can speed it up. See if you can speed it up to where it feels like, gosh, maybe I'm doing this a little too fast. I really just want you here to explore the opposite way of what you do automatically. Just in the same way we were talking earlier about having a time in the day to establish a baseline, to practice something so that when you need it, it's more readily available. Well, here we're intentionally shifting the speed of the seated cat-cow to a way that is not our default, not what is most familiar and probably most comfortable, so that we have that skill when we get uncomfortable or unfamiliar to just keep going and to acknowledge, you know what, it's okay. I'm handling it. All right, good. Take your time. Come back to center. Always do it a little bit longer on the second side, especially because that's always the less familiar, the way that we don't normally do it. And so with that in mind, let yourself rock back on your tailbone to 6 o'clock, and then go to 3 o'clock, to the right sits bone, if you will, and then the pubic bone at 12, and then 9 o'clock. And so we're going around now counterclockwise. Reconnect your hands and your knees if necessary. Remember, that just helps to create a frame. Just keep going. There's a style of yoga that I've been studying a little bit called Katonah yoga. It's got a lot of really interesting references, and I am by no means well versed in it. It's got a lot of depth, but I mention it in this moment because one of the theories is that clockwise movement is with the movement of time. And there's other ways that they talk about it, but we'll leave it at that because that's what I'm 100% sure of. But that counterclockwise movement is chaotic. is the word that I've heard used. And so I mention this because I just want to encourage you to recognize that this might feel not like this might feel unusual. This might not feel as good as going the other way. I know that's the case for me. And so keep going and see what it takes to really just observe without getting all involved in the experience. You can notice like how this feels in your body, how your mind reacts. And you can let those experiences be there without feeling like you have to do something about it. Just another 10 seconds. Keep going. Just check in with your hands, stay grounded. Check in with that movement of your pelvis counterclockwise in those 4 points. All right, good work. Next time you come around to 6 o'clock, just come on back up to center. And just like before, walk the hands forward and just let yourself round forward, just come forward. Feel free to take a few exaggerated exhalations. Think of this moment as an opportunity to surrender. Surrender in your body means to see if you can undo any gripping, tensing, clenching, holding, gripping, grasping. Surrender in the mind. Means just being open to the experience. A great question to shift into that openness is, what's here for me? Just another few breaths. Breathe into the back ribs and the side ribs. Nice. Take your time. Roll on back up. And let's just bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Walk the left hands out to the side. The left hand, unless you have two left hands, out to the side. And maybe if you'd like to bring your right hand to around your left ear. I don't advise you pushing down, rather think of like sort of a gentle tug up and away. Like think of your right elbow reaching up and away and a little gentle grip on the left side of your head, sort of reaching up and away, making more space in the left side of the neck. And see, it may feel really good to turn your left palm up. Ooh. And if you noticed a good amount of sensation in there, think about rolling the palm down and up. Stay low. Relax your jaw. And then sometime soon let the left fingertips come down. Release the right hand if you're using it, and then roll the chin to the chest. Keep your chest lifted and your shoulders broad, your upper back broad. Really keep your heart lifted. Just stretching the back of the neck, and then roll to the left side. Left ear to left shoulder. Right hand walks away. If you'd like, left hand to the right ear, right side of the head. Lifting up and away, just creating space. And then if you want to flip the right palm up, you can keep it that way, or you can, I really like to sort of go up and down. Really feel the humerus bone, which is the upper arm bone. Sort of make some super small movements up in the shoulder socket. Might be getting into some tensing, gripping. Nice. All right, sometime soon, release the right hand down, the left hand down, roll the chin to the chest again. And with the chin to the chest and the heart lifted and the collarbones nice and broad, just lean back just enough to switch the cross of your legs again. Should be back maybe in the more familiar way, the more habitual way. If you'd like here, feel free to interlace the hands, the fingers all the way to the webbing, and just bring them to the back of the head. Go below that sort of like bump, occipital crest at the back of the skull. And again, rather than pulling down on the head, in fact, please don't do that. Just reach the elbows forward. So you're just sort of using just a little bit of gentle traction. Make sure you keep the chest really lifted. It's not about rounding in the upper back. It's just about lengthening the back of the neck. All right, good. So from here, press the elbows back toward the wall behind you and lift the chest. And then bring the elbows again towards each other, tuck the chin. And do that some more. And move with the breath. You can either inhale as you open or exhale as you open. What feels right to you? What feels good? Try it both ways. Good. Okay, next time you open up, press your head into the palms of your hands, and then without moving your arms much, just switch the interlace of your fingers. I'll show you here. Just switch. Again, this will be the way that feels less familiar, less habitual. And just reach the left elbow up and then the right elbow up. And just go back and forth here, breathing and moving in sync in whatever way feels right to you. And what I want you to really pay attention to here is the upper back, shoulders, and elbows. Imagine that you're sitting with your back against a wall and you're trying to keep both shoulder blades, the back of the head and the hands, the interlaced fingers, and both elbows on the wall. So really avoid rounding forward, rolling forward. Really let the elbow come up versus thinking about it in any other way. Just making space in the shoulders. that really thinking about one elbow just really reaching up prevents you from sort of compressing, clamping down on the opposite side, right? That side's just there, gravity's doing what it's doing, but the one elbow is going up. All right, good. So the next time the right elbow goes up, I think we started on the left side, but probably all need an extra stretch on the right side. Just come back to center, release the hands down, and take the left hand to the right knee and the right hand around behind you. And as you inhale, lengthen down through the tailbone and up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, twist to the right. And so just let there be a very subtle sort of flow here with the breath. Each time you inhale, feel a lengthening down and up. And as you exhale, use the leverage of your arms to gently twist. And really allow yourself as much as possible to start from the base of the spine. Obviously the pelvis isn't in this, but think about your right waist moving back and your left waist moving forward. And think about your right rib cage moving back and your left rib cage moving forward. And then focus on maybe the upper ribs even. And then the shoulders. And make sure that you're not forcing this in any way. Let there be that gentle ebb and flow with the breath, soft bits of releasing and lengthening with your inhalation, and gentle deepening with your exhalation. Nice. Good. Sometime soon on an in-breath, come back to center. And let's just go right to the other side. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. A lengthening on each inhalation. A gentle deepening of this twist as you exhale. Your pelvis is really rooted, both 9 and 3 down. Your left waist moves back in space as your right waist moves forward. Your left ribs move back as your right ribs move forward. Your left shoulder moves back as your right shoulder moves forward. At some point the head turns to capacity gently. Let's take a few more breaths here, working with that ebb and flow of the breath and that really subtle movement in the body. Each inhalation a lengthening down through the tailbone, up through the crown of the head, a broadening of the rib cage and the shoulders. Each exhalation a very gentle deepening of the twist, but it's mostly by allowing more of a twist, less efforting. There's some effort here with the arms, we're using that leverage, but in the spine especially, how can you soften to twist? Good. Take your time. Coming on back to center. And just take a moment here in the center to observe, to come back to your pure awareness and really let yourself notice the effects of our movement. Good. All right, sometime soon, bring the bottoms of the feet together. And do a little side to side rocking. And as you're doing your side to side rocking, see if you can drop the pubic bone down a bit and get higher on the sits bones. And as you rock to the left side, see if you can reach the right knee away and down. And as you rock to the right side, see if you can reach the left knee away and down. Good. And sometime soon, let yourself come to center. And you can hold on here to the knees or the shins or the ankles and use that to really help keep yourself sitting up high on the pelvis, high on the sits bones, into a neutral pelvis. Press the feet together and really look at the feet for a moment and make sure that as best you can right now, you get them equal, symmetrical, pressing in equally. Notice where one foot might roll open a little more, or where you may not fully engage with the whole ball of both feet and the whole heel. Just notice and make some adjustments. Feel free to use your hands to help yourself with that in any way that feels good. And then, just like in the twist a moment ago, start to make some gentle, subtle adjustments with the breath. Inhale and lengthen, tailbone down, crown of the head up. And then as you exhale, see if you can press into the feet just a bit, reach the knees away just a bit, and start to come forward. Now, it's so easy here to just collapse the chest and round forward, but that's not at all what we're going for here. We want to stay nice and long in the spine, and the coming forward is in the tilting of the pelvis. So you're sitting on 6 and 9, if we come back to our clock sort of visual for the pelvis, and you're trying to rock towards 12 and let 6, the tailbone, point back. And so maybe for you that is just about maintaining an upright posture. Fine. Just like the twist, remember that yes, you might be using a little bit of leverage in your arms to encourage yourself forward, but that by and large, each time you exhale, as you're deepening, which again may not have any effect in terms of how it looks on the outside of your body. You can do a lot of very good, deep, subtle shifts inside your body that may not register on the outside of your body, and that's okay. But each time you're deepening, yes, you're using the leverage of your arms to encourage that tilt in the pelvis, but the majority of your practice as you exhale is in softening and letting go of effort, gripping, holding, tensing, grasping, clasping, all of that in the hips, and the low back, and the groin. It doesn't have to be super static. Feel free to move just a little side to side when that feels helpful. Notice if your chin is jutting forward. I just recognized that I was doing that, sort of slumping and jutting my chin forward. So I pressed down into my hips to reach up through the crown of my head, broaden my collarbones. And let's take maybe 5 or 7 more rounds of breath here, and feel free to really exaggerate your breathing. Long, slow, extended exhalations. Good, 3 more breaths. And just keep letting yourself allow this shape a little more in your body. Again, I just want to really emphasize that this may be happening on a very subtle level within you, and that is good, good work. All right. Take your time. Coming on up nice and slow. And just bring your hands behind you. See if you can do that where your fingertips point towards your body instead of away from your body. And then bring your feet to the floor, to the mat. And as I'm turning my fingers in, I'm realizing it feels a little pinchy in my shoulders. So I'm just turning them out a little. So feel free to do that. Really listen to your body. And then with your feet wide, like a mat's width, even if you're not sitting on a mat, just drop one knee down, sort of roll to one side, and then do the other. So a windshield wipering, but it's a wide windshield wipering. I always notice I move forward when I do this. It's a little bit like a crab crawl type situation. That's fine. Feel free to go to one side and hold for a breath or so. Of course, do that on the other side as well, if that feels good. And then we're going to move into some breathing in just a moment, but if it feels nice, just lay back and hug your knees to your chest. A little side to side rocking. Might consider opening the arms out to the sides. Just be gentle with yourself here. Just take another, let's say 60 seconds to move in any way that feels good. So some ideas if you're down on your back. Besides hugging the knees to the chest, you can drop and do a twist. On either side, you can go to happy baby, holding on to the outsides of the knees or the outsides of the feet. also do a figure 4 situation here if that feels good. What I want to encourage you to do is to tap into that inner awareness, that pure awareness rather. And rather than think about, oh, what should I do, or even feel about what you should do in terms of physical sensations, see if you can just let yourself be inspired. So good. Take your time. We're going to start our breathing practice on our backs. So come to constructive rest, which is where the feet are a little wider than hips width apart and the knees rest on each other. And come to stillness and start to pay attention to what happens in your body as you breathe. And you may manage the breath a little here, and that's all right. You may breathe with a little bit of intentional effort, and that's all right. Or you can also let go of any managing, manipulating the breath. Either way, just watch what happens. Just watch the breath in your body. Watch the movement specifically of the breath in your body. And because we're on our backs, you're probably noticing the sort of the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Maybe one more than the other. What I want you to do here is to start to observe and then maybe be more intentional about the breath into the sides of the body. So if you were sitting or standing, think about this as a horizontal, I guess it's still horizontal, even as you're on your back. It's horizontal breathing. Moving outward horizontally as you inhale and inward horizontally as you exhale. This is something to pay attention to in your daily life. Oftentimes, and especially when we're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or pressured or worried, we shift to more vertical breathing, up and down. And if in that moment you can allow the breath to be more horizontal, it will slow you down. It will help you downshift, if you will. Good. Okay. We're going to move into a round of breathing called Kapalabhati. What that is it's a semi-forceful exhalation. And I say semi-forceful because you are exerting effort to push the breath out, but I just want to encourage you to recognize that you don't have to overdo that. One way that it's been described to me when I first started practicing this that helped me is to, as if you're blowing your nose, right? Just a forceful, you don't have to think or worry or do anything with the inhalation. Your body will naturally breathe in. You just focus on the exhalation, pushing it out semi-forcefully. You can do it through your nose, as I just demonstrated, or through your mouth, more like this. I will say that it's easier in some ways to do it through the mouth. And I want to encourage you to start slow. I also want you to know that the effort comes from the belly. You're pulling the belly in. So it's sort of like the belly pulls in and the breath gets pushed out. And so there's a very specific sort of snapping of the belly in, so that the breath goes out, out, out. So typically you do this for 100 rounds. I'm going to do it for 100 rounds. You do it at the pace that feels good and also where you maintain intention and control, if you will. If it starts to be where you just feel like you're, and you're not really doing it, just slow way down, okay? So I'm gonna do it for 100 rounds, and when I'm done with the 100 rounds, then you'll hear my breath change, and you can start to slow down and just listen for my instruction, okay? Please take your time with this. Please exert effort, but controlled, intentional, gentle effort. Okay, take a breath in through your nose. Exhale out with a sigh. And then inhale again through the nose. And as you're ready, start. Just take a moment to observe. It's totally normal to build up heat. It's normal to feel a little woozy. That's why we did it lying down. It can be normal to cough, as I did. Good. Just let the natural rhythm of your breath come and go as it will. And notice if the breath is more up and down in your belly and chest or side to side. There's no right or wrong or good or bad here, just observation. We're going to do a round of, or a handful of rounds, I should say, of square or box breathing now. So take a breath in and a long, slow breath out. And then inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out, 4, 3, 2, 1 more round. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just breathe in and out. Reconnecting, if necessary, to the pure awareness within you. allowing this moment as it is to be as it is. Good. With as little movement and outward attention as possible, begin to make your way into your supported posture for meditation. Make sure you will be and stay warm. Make sure you're supported in every single way that feels comforting, grounding, nourishing to you. And as we always do, I really want to encourage you to take your time to settle in, knowing that you might settle in and then reassess and want to adjust. And as you do that, I just want to share that this practice of Yoga Nidra helps us cultivate tools that we can use throughout our lifetime to deal with difficult situations skillfully. Also, Yoga Nidra teaches us and helps us cultivate or develop a deep and secure sense of well-being. And the reason it does this is because that is who we are at our essence. This doesn't add that in any way. It simply allows us to, it sets up the conditions for us to allow that endless supply of well-being that is the essence of who we are, individually and collectively, to be known. This practice sets up the conditions to allow that endless supply of inner peace, of well-being that is who we are, individually and collectively, to be realized. It does this by helping us discover the state between sleep and wakefulness, where deep healing takes place. And yes, there's physical healing. Our immune systems are boosted by this practice. But the healing at its core is about the release of everything that prevents us from knowing that essential aspect of ourselves all the time. That is the healing. It's the opportunity to remember. And when I say remember, I don't mean at the level of the mind. Because your mind may have said, I didn't know that. But it's our soul that knows and remembers. So during this practice, you'll remain awake and alert, even as the body essentially sleeps, even as the body goes into a very quiet state. And please know, if you do fall asleep, it happens, it's normal, and it means that you need the sleep, and that's okay. So if you haven't already, let yourself begin to move into stillness. And during this meditation, I'll guide you to notice specific things, physical sensations, the breath, thoughts, emotions. Know that whatever you experience, this practice is exactly right. It's exactly what needs to be noticed, just as it is. There's no need to intellectualize or scrutinize any aspect of this practice. Trust that what comes up is exactly what needs to come up in the moment that it comes up. So just allow my voice to become your inner voice. And take a moment to welcome this experience. You might even think the word welcome. Welcoming yourself to this meditation, welcoming every experience that you will have during this meditation as a messenger that's just simply inviting you to be aware of whatever it is, a sensation, a thought, an emotion. Every experience, welcome, and welcome as it is. So there's no doing on your part to try to change or fix or analyze. Whatever is arising, your body and mind are learning to Remain in the place of observation, of witness, of pure consciousness. Your body and mind are learning to remain at ease while that pure consciousness, that place of detached awareness, is your predominant experience. That unchanging well-being within you. So notice the senses, the taste in your mouth, the sounds around you, the most obvious ones, the more subtle ones, the barely perceptible sounds. Notice any smells. Notice images or colors behind your eyelids. Notice the weight and texture of the clothes you're wearing, perhaps any of the blankets or anything around you that's touching your skin. Notice the touch of air on any bare skin, perhaps the face. Experience your senses as open and alive. And now narrow the spotlight of your attention onto your heart center. Really focus in, focus your awareness and that space in the middle of the chest, the middle side to side and front to back. As you feel into that space, listen for the answer, not from the mind, but from this heart space. Listen for the answer to the question, what do I need? What do I want? And whatever comes up, whatever it is, see if you can feel that now. Feel it as readily available. An ally supporting you, wanting to be an expanded part of your experience now and whenever you need or want it to be. Really feel as if what you need and want is already yours, because it is. Allow it right now. And then just say to yourself silently a handful of times, I am, whatever it is that you need or want. Know that it's there. Know that it wants to be an expanded part of your experience right now. Release that for now. We'll shift the spotlight of attention around the body, noticing what's present in various parts of the body. There's nothing to do. You're simply becoming aware of what's present. That's all. Start with the mouth. Feel the mouth as a whole, and then the roof of the mouth, the insides of the cheeks, the teeth and gums, the tongue, feel the whole inside of the mouth as a field of sensation. And then become aware of your lips and your chin and your cheeks and your ears. Feel the outer ears. Feel into the inner ears. Notice any sensation of hearing, letting yourself be aware of how it feels for the ears to receive sound. Become aware of the forehead now and the eyebrows and the eyes. Feel the eyelids and the surfaces of the eyes and the backs of the eyes. Feel the nose, the left nostril and the right nostril. And feel the touch of the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. You might be aware of the relative coolness of the in-breath and the relative warmth of the out-breath. And just begin to expand the spotlight of your attention from the nose out to take in the whole face. And expand now the spotlight of your awareness to take in the whole head. And then shift your awareness down to the neck,
Feel the back of the neck, the sides of the neck, the throat. Become aware of the shoulders. Notice the shoulder blades and the collarbones. Feel the armpits. Allow your attention to move down the upper arms from the shoulders to the elbows, and then down the forearms from the elbows to the wrists. Feel the backs of the hands, the thumbs, first fingers, middle fingers, third fingers, little fingers. Feel the palms of the hands now. And let your awareness expand to take in both hands and both arms at the same time. Narrow the spotlight of your attention now on to the space between the shoulder blades. And travel down the length of the spine to the tailbone. Feel the back ribs and the low back and the glutes. Feel around the hip bones. Notice the pubic bone and the genitals. Feel the upper leg bones insert into the hip sockets. Feel down the upper legs to the knees. And from the knees down to the ankles. Feel the heels of the feet, the soles of the feet, all 10 toes. Feel the tops of the feet now, and the ankles once more. Feel up the shins to the knees, and up the quadricep muscles to the hips. Feel the pelvis as a whole, heavy. Notice the low belly. Feel the navel and the diaphragm, which is a big dome right under your rib cage. Feel the lungs. Feel the front ribs, the side ribs. And just feel as you breathe the lungs inflating and deflating and the rib cage expanding and softening. Allow your awareness to move up to the chest and the heart center. And feel the throat once more. And become aware of the space between the eyebrows. And let your awareness move to the crown of the head. And from the crown of the head, just let your attention expand out to sense the whole body. The front and the back and the sides, the left side and the right side. The entire body, a field of a radiant sensation. Be aware in this moment of all that is present in your awareness. Feel yourself as the one who is aware of everything that's present. So you sense what's present, you experience that field of radiant sensation that is the body. And then experience yourself as the field of awareness in which the radiant sensation is arising. As you continue to hold in awareness the whole body, become aware that the body is breathing. Notice the flow of the breath in and out, the ebb and flow. Perhaps feeling the sensation of the breath as expansive and softening as it comes in and out. Perhaps you are aware of the touch of the breath in the nostrils. Allow the awareness to just rest on this rhythmic ebb and flow of the breath. So in just a moment, you'll begin counting each breath silently backwards from 7 to 1 in the following manner. Breath in, 7. Breath out, 7. Breath in, 6. Breath out, 6. Go ahead and start as you're ready. Let it be easy. If you lose count, begin again at 7. It's no problem. There's no need to get to 1. Let go of counting, no matter where you are. And just allow your awareness to take in all that is this moment. Be aware of all that's present. And be aware that you are the field of awareness. So begin to notice any feeling in the body of warmth. And now notice the feeling, if present, of coolness. Become aware of any heaviness. Notice any presence of lightness. Become aware of any discomfort. Just presencing if discomfort is part of this moment. And just presence now any experience of comfort. And just allow all of the feelings, these types of physical feelings, to be present as they are, welcoming any feelings. Really allowing them to be there, to even blossom. Recognizing that you are the awareness who is noticing any feelings as they are. And with that awareness, allow yourself to bring attention to any emotion that is present. You may feel it in your body, or it may be one that you're experiencing in your life. So it may just be part of your awareness, even if it's not a predominant emotion in this moment. And as you hold in your awareness an emotion that's present or one that you've been experiencing, and please know there may be nothing, and that's okay. Just be present with what is. But if there is an emotion that's present or arising, welcome it. Welcome it as sensation into your body so that you can observe it. Really invite it to unfold fully so that you can be present with it. Notice and welcome any thoughts or images or memories that also arise. And just give yourself space to be with it, whatever it is. Really observing without the need to change or fix or manage anything at all. And if it's helpful, allow now an opposite emotion to emerge. Whatever that might be, there's no need to figure it out. Just whatever comes up. And it may be helpful to recall a memory that invites this opposite emotion into your experience, into your body. Welcome it, notice it. Know that there's no need to make anything happen. If something does, watch it. If it doesn't, notice what is here. If you do have an experience in this present moment of two opposite emotions, see if you can invite them both into awareness at the same time. There's no need to think about this, simply experience how it affects your body and mind. For two opposite emotions to be welcomed in. Good. Just be aware of all that's present in your awareness. Sense what's present, and then experience yourself as the field of awareness in which everything is arising. Welcome now a thought or a belief that you have or sometimes fall into or take to be true about yourself. This is not something you have to think about or figure out. Whatever arises is exactly right. even if it doesn't exactly match the instruction. And know also that if no thought or belief is arising, simply be with whatever is present. What is present is exactly right for you right now. If there is a thought or a belief that emerged, that came forward to your awareness, just allow it to be there. Just let this thought or belief be known, and observe where and how you feel it in your body. Notice any images, emotions, or thoughts that co-arise. There's nothing to change or fix or manage here. Simple, pure awareness. If it's helpful now, bring to mind an opposite thought or an opposite belief. Again, it's so simple to just let what comes forth come forth. No efforting here. If you allowed an opposite thought or belief to emerge, just notice, how does that affect your body? From that place of pure awareness, just welcome this opposite belief or thought or whatever has arisen. Welcome any images, emotions, memories. Be present to your experience just as it is. And if a thought or belief has been present and also an opposite thought or belief emerged, welcome both at the same time. And just experience how this affects your body and your mind. Be aware of all that's now present. Feeling yourself as the one who's aware of everything that's now present. Experience yourself as the field of awareness in which everything is arising. Allow yourself now to experience sensations throughout your body of well-being, joy, satisfaction, peace. It may be helpful to recall a particular event from your life that invites any of these feelings. Welcome whatever emerges just as it is. Into your body right now. And with any sensation, experience of well-being, joy, satisfaction, peace, or anything else that feels good to you right now, start to cultivate an inner smile, a smile of gratitude and openness, a smile of well-being, a smile of joy, a smile of satisfaction, of peace. Experience an inner smile that radiates from your heart. Feel the heart smiling. Feel the shoulders and the belly smile. Feel the throat and the pelvis smile. Feel the elbows and knees and wrists and ankles smile, the hands and feet. Feel the eyes smile, the inner mouth. Feel the brain smiling. The entire body radiant and alive with the feeling of well-being, joy, satisfaction, peace. In this moment, just as it is. This moment, just being, your pure awareness, open and spacious. Pure awareness, open and spacious. Just imagine going about your daily life as it is, noticing sensations, being aware of emotions and thoughts as they constantly change, yet all the while experiencing yourself as the unchanging, open, spacious, well-being, that pure awareness that is who you are. And take a long, slow breath in through your nose, and an even longer, slower breath out through your mouth. If it feels good, begin to bring some small, gentle movements to the fingers and toes. Perhaps you're ready to roll your head a bit from side to side. Please know that you absolutely do not have to move at all. But if it feels good, you might start to extend away from center, the arms and the legs and the head. Feeling into all the space that you've created in your body and your mind and your heart and your spirit. And if you like, you might consider rolling to one side. Please know you don't have to move at all. Please know there's nothing required at all. If you have moved, see if you can stay with reconnecting, if necessary, to that pure awareness, that witness consciousness. Stay connected to that essential part of who you are, that essential you that is always present. Endless, boundless, limitless. At some point in the next moment or so, if you'd like to make your way to a seated posture, please do so slowly, intentionally. Make sure you stay warm, and I'll just repeat, nothing is required. Nothing except for you doing what you're inspired to do. And so we'll end our time together this evening with an offering of loving kindness. I will offer some statements of loving kindness to you. I'd like to encourage you to repeat these, changing the word you to I, so that you're offering yourself loving kindness as well. If you want to bring your hands together or to the body in any way, that can be nice. Again, follow what is inspiring and feels nourishing and loving and caring for you right now. May you be safe and healthy. May you have a calm, clear mind. May you have an open, loving heart. May you be at peace. May all beings on earth be at peace. That is good work. Thank you for your presence, my friends. I will send you the recording tomorrow. Please enjoy the rest of your evening and remember that there is an endless supply of everything you need and want within you right now. Continue to believe that, to tap into that, to honor and be appreciative of that. Good work.